introduction, the halal sector has become a major economic driver in Malaysia and is expanding globally. Halal encompasses more than religious compliance. It includes ethics, hygiene, safety and fairness. Consumers, Muslim and non-Muslim alike, are increasingly seeking clean, ethical and high-quality products. Malaysia, through JAKIM and other institutions, is recognized globally for its halal certification system. However, operational sustainability, social, environmental and economic is now a growing concern in halal manufacturing.
My name is Ahmad Nashid. Okay, I'm going to present about the Islamic perspective on production. In Islam, production isn't just a business activity, it's a form of worship ibadah. When done honestly and ethically, producers are seen as the Khalifah or trustees responsible to Allah for how they use the resources. The Quran commands us to consume what is halal and tayyib, meaning what is lawful, pure and good. This means halal production must go beyond ingredient to include cleanliness, safety, fairness in the entire process. The Prophet Muhammad said, the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. So producers have the duty to benefit the society, not harming it. And also Islam also discourages waste, and as stated in the Surah Al-A'raf, do not waste by excess, for Allah does not love the wasters. This supports the idea of the sustainability practices into the industries. In short, Islamic production is about profit with purpose, balancing economic goals with ethical responsibility to people and the environment.
For halal manufacturing in Malaysia, Malaysia has built a strong halal infrastructure, including halal park, research institutions, and government support. JAKIM is a center to halal certification, yet inconsistent is it in practice. For issue, some manufacturers use undocumented work violating labor ethics. Poor hygiene and improper waste disposal undermine halal integrity. Focus is often obtaining certification rather than upholding continuous halal standard. Halal extend to sector beyond food, logistics, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, and tourism.
Next, on the sustainability challenges in halal production, specifically focusing on environmental, social, and economic issues as well as their contradiction with Islamic ethical values. First, environmental challenges. Many factories in Malaysia still discharge untreated waste into rivers, causing serious pollution. For example, in 2020, the pollution of Sungai Selangor by illegal waste dumping causes major water cuts affecting more than 1 million residents in the Klang Valley. This type of environmental harm clearly contradicts Islamic environmental ethics. In Islam, we are taught the principle of amanah, which is trust, and khalifah, which is stewardship. Allah has entrusted us with the earth, and we are responsible to take care of it, not destroy it for the sake of profit. Prophet Muhammad SAW said, the earth is green and beautiful, and Allah has appointed you as stewards over it. Second, social challenges. Another challenge is the use of untrained or undocumented foreigner workers, often placed in dangerous and unsafe working conditions. For example, in recent years, several halal certificate factories in Malaysia were investigated for labour violations such as lack of safety equipment and excessive working hours, especially involving migrant workers from Nepal and Bangladesh. This directly goes against Islamic principles like adil, which is justice, and ihsan, which is kindness. Islam upholds the dignity of all workers, regardless of their race or status. Employers are required to treat workers fairly, provide safe conditions, and ensure their basic rights. Prophet Muhammad SAW said, pay the worker his wage before his sweat dries. Third, economic challenges. Small and medium enterprise, which is SME, which form the backbone of the halal industry, often financial difficulty in adopting green technology or training programs. Example, a small halal food manufacturer in Terengganu might not afford solar panels, biodegradable packaging, or water recycling system due to high initial costs. The cost of sustainable infrastructure and compliance with environmental and labour standard becomes a burden for them. This discourages many from improving their practice even when they want to do the right thing. Islam encourages economic balance, which is wasatiyah, and support should be provided to help smaller producers uphold halal and tayyiban standard. Fourth, the urgency for reform. Today, consumer awareness is rising. People are not only looking for halal status but also expect the product to be clean, ethical, and environmentally friendly, which is the true meaning of halal and tayyiban. As for example, the global demand for ethical halal cosmetics, like those from Safi or Wardah, has increased significantly. Consumers prefer brands that care about both religious and environmental value. without serious reform, which is such as government support, better enforcement and education. Malaysia's position as a global halal leader may weaken in the future. So, to conclude, the halal industry today face serious sustainability challenge, environmental damage, labor exploitation and economic limitation are real threats, not only to our ecosystem and people, but also to the integrity of halal itself. As Muslims, we are guided by values like trust, justice and responsibility. To truly fulfill the concept of halal and Tayyiban, we must ensure that our production is ethically sound, socially just and environmentally sustainable. Let's remember, being halal is not just about the end, it's also about the process. That's all from me. Thank you.
Today, I would like to present how institutional theory helps us understand the behavior of companies involved in halal manufacturing. Institution theory suggests that businesses are not only divided by profit, but also shaped by both external and internal pressure. This pressure comes from their surrounding, including regulation, cultural expectation, and industry trends. Let's start with regulatory pressure. In Malaysia, halal producer must comply with JAKIM certification standard to be recognized as halal compliant. This is not option, it's a legal and commercial necessity. In addition to JAKIM, producers who want to access global market must also meet international halal standard. So, the pressure to comply with regulation is a major driver of company behavior. Next, we have normative pressure, which refer to society as platform businesses. Today, consumers are no longer satisfied with just a halal label. They expect halal product to be produced in ways that are ethical, safe and environmentally friendly. This expectation reflects broader cultural value, especially among Muslim consumers who see halal as a way of life, not just a dietary rule. As a result, many companies are motivated to adopt higher standards in order to build trust and loyalty. The third type of pressure is mimetic pressure. This happens when companies imitate other successful firms. For example, if a competitor gains market advantage by adopting sustainable and ethical practice, others are likely to follow the same path in order to remain relevant and competitive. This kind of comparing often leads to be separate of best practice throughout the industry, not because they are required by law, but because they are seen as smart business strategies. Now, not all companies respond to this pressure in the same way. Some use this pressure as opportunities to innovate and improve. They invest in training, adopt cleaner production technologies, and build stronger internal halal system. These companies go beyond basic compliance and distribute to raising the overall standard of the halal industry. But there are also companies that treat certification as just a formality. They do the bare minimum to get certificate without making real improvement. This approach can damage the credibility of the halal label and reduce customer confidence. At the center of all this is leadership. Visionary leaders recognize that halal sustainability is more than a religious obligation. It is also a strategic advantage. By aligning with ethical and environmental value, they strengthen their brand, improving efficiency and building lasting trust with customers. On the other hand, leaders with a short-term focus may resist change and avoid the cost of improving standard. This attitude might save money in the short run, but in the long term, it can hurt the company reputation and growth. In the end, institutional theory reminds us that halal producers do not work in isolation. They are a part of a larger network shaped by consumer, competitor, regulation, and cultural norms. Understanding the network is crucial for building a stronger, more sustainable, and trustworthy halal industry in Malaysia and beyond.
For recommendation, strengthen enforcement for halal and environmental standard through audits. Invest in training and education for workers and managers on halal sustainability. Adopt technologies such as blockchain to enhance transparency in supply chain. Encourage collaboration between government, industry, and academic for innovation. Shift the mindset from halal as a certification to halal as a way of life, rotate in ethics and responsibility.
For conclusion, halal production in Malaysia must reflect not only Islamic law, but also universal values of sustainability, justice, and ethics. Issues like pollution, unethical labor, and poor standard damage the halal industry reputation. Institutional theory provides a useful framework to understand why some firms comply while others don't. Accessibility halal industry benefits from strong leadership, alignment with consumer expectation, commitment to halalan thayyiban principle.